everybody.
Oh, was it people?
Hi. Hello. I thought it would be fun to start in the middle of a conversation because that seems like fun and
I mean, accurate glimpse into our friendship.
exactly.
We may or may not be plotting fun future streams for you all. That's right. That's definitely what we were doing. Wasn't evil at all. Hello. Welcome. We are Queer Bee Dragons. I am your DM, Roxana Meta. This is my squad. Tara and Halo and Teebs and Chris. And oh no, I fucking forgot that you had that.
If you don't think that I am not going to abuse this.
Oh no, I fully recognize that.
Okay.
I am steeled for it. We're good. No, that's fine. You've got a few noises on there too. It's gonna be a surprise. Hi, welcome everybody. We are playing, what is this, episode 5? 5. Oh my god, episode 5 of our sort of long mini campaign, Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise, in my homebrew world, rich in animal folk. And it's been really lovely and fun so far, leading you guys through this world and meeting bear folk, NPCs, and squirrel folk, and all that fun stuff. But y'all got some questions, and they're starting to need answers here about the shifty stuff that's going on down at the lake house. So I think without further ado, let's Chris, you got a thing to say?
I do. Welcome to Queer Bee Dragons. Catch us every other Sunday live on Twitch, or catch up on our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Queer Bee Dragons.
Excellent. Time for that intro. Halo, finger guns to you.
Yeah. Oh god. Hi, we're back. Everybody?
We're back. Alrighty. Well, let's get started here. We do a fun thing here on Queer Bee Dragons, which is that we have our little recaps done in character by each of the PCs. Take turns doing that. So today we are going to be hearing our recap of the last episode from Fibbit. Fibbit, take it away.
I'm not sure if this is going to help, but Devin says that I need other ways to manage my anxiety, whatever that means. So I'm supposed to create a journal where I put all my thoughts in it, so I don't have to tell everyone what my thoughts are all the time. But then how will I be able to...
Hydration break.
Thank you. But then how will I be able to warn people about all the bad stuff that's going to happen? I don't know. We escaped the island, barely. If Devin hadn't been there to carry me, I'm sure I would have tripped upon an exposed branch, then tumbled downhill several feet and into a roaring campfire where I would have been burned alive, unable to escape because of all my bones being broken from the fall. But alas, we were able to get into a boat and we're safe because I'm pretty sure the Guardian is scared of water and boats, and they are certainly terrifying indeed. Everyone says that we have to figure out this situation about the island, but I'm not sure why. We might die. I'm still confused. The way Devin talks about risking our lives for others, I wonder if that means our lives matter less than the mysterious others, whoever they might be. Why is that so? Is one life worth more than another? What or who makes that distinction? Is it Devin? When the situation comes that I may die, or someone else, will Devin choose them over me? I have to ask what the criteria is so that I can make sure Devin will always save me first. But, better yet, We should tell the authorities so they can handle the situation, and then we can continue our journey unharmed. We arrive at Ursula's safely, where there is pie. Though the pie is cold, it still makes me feel warm, and the syrupy berries make me happy. Though this new life has been one long, paralyzing nightmare, the realization that the taste of sweetness and the sensation of happiness can go hand in hand hasn't been so bad. There's much talk about burying Tessie's husband, Ushi, and it still confuses me. He's dead. Wouldn't it be best to leave his bones for the predators to munch on while we are made momentarily safe by the distraction? It doesn't seem like this is a worry for others. No, the bigger worry seems to be Tessie's feelings on the matter, which is confusing. Do these feelings matter more than life, or are Tessie's emotions that which holds the entire fabric of the world together, and keeping her calm is the only thing preventing an explosion that will leave every living being but a soot stain on the ground? Maybe I should be kinder to her if that's the case. Nevertheless, we go to Tessie's home. It's a rickety thing high in a tree. She doesn't worry that the entire thing will collapse if she brings one item that's too heavy, but I do. Among Ushi's things, when he was geocaching, we found an item that was bleached leather binding together two porous stones. Because I am an irredeemable imbecile, I unwrapped this leather to reveal a feather between the two stones. Ahalan says that it's merely some sort of magical amplifier, but I am certain that I've just unleashed a plague upon the land. Tessie says that this is odd for her husband to have, as he is not a magic user. I wonder if this means he was connected to Dr. Scarab, who came from a university of magic arts. I try my best to ignore the swaying of the home as I investigate Ushi's things, but there's nothing else to connect him with Dr. Scarab. Instead, we find many different trinkets, ones that are good gifts for everyone. I'm still learning about gifts, but the small set of books I found for Devon seemed to make her happy, which made me happy. Maybe gifts can be added to the list of things that aren't terrifying about this life. In the end, I survived another day, but Ushi and Dr. Scarab did not. As we bury Ushi, I think I begin to understand. It feels like an ending, the closing of the back cover of a book. I'm certain I will die fearfully and violently tomorrow, but maybe it would be nice to be buried like him with these people around me. The end.
Thank you, Fibbit. So we begin this episode after you had a lovely little funeral for Ushi Chichivo. Have left Tessie at her house to rest and try to grapple with the events of the day. You checked in with Yadira, who offered you free lodging for the night for the good work that you had done back at the Stork's Leg Inn, which is where you stayed the previous night. I think pretty much at this point, y'all were just going to head back to the inn. You have some stuff to do on the morrow, but I believe you had done everything you were going to tonight. By this time, it's after dark, pretty long after dark. There was a very small ceremony, magically lit, and a couple of the neighbors are going to stay with Tessie and look after her. There's one other squirrel folk that lives in the area. And it's pretty much time for rest. As you guys are about to head off to the inn, Ursula, the bear folk, takes you aside, Devon, just sort of like tries to not be too obvious about this, kind of looking over her shoulder to make sure that Tessie is not within view. And she hands you very as subtly as she can the book that she got from Tessie's place, and just kind of says, it looks like this is magic stuff, and I don't want to be rude, but I don't really dabble in that. So would this be of interest to you? You don't tell Tessie, just I thought maybe I thought maybe you might like the magic stuff.
I I I mean, I'll take a look at it and look over. I mean, I guess anything will help.
Okay, so she hands you a book. It is a beautifully made book. It looks like it has the front and back covers are made of pressed leaves, like many, many leaves that have been pressed together to create almost like a cardboard binding. Um, and it has a gilded label that says Tome of Gardening. If you give it a quick flip through, you'll see that it's full of different little sketches and drawings in addition to a lot of written information. It looks to be about gardening, particularly indoor gardening.
Does it have anything about berries in there?
I mean, I don't know if Devin looks. Do you look for that?
I can. Sure.
Fibbit's like standing on their hind legs, like trying to peer over your shoulder.
Yeah, I'll flip through it. Maybe check the index or.
I think specifically, there's a section on vines, and like so there are some kinds of berries that are vining plants, but no, there's nothing specifically about berries in there. So Ursula just sort of like pats with her big old bare paw, just like pats your big lady hand. Okay, all right. Well, I hope you like that. I'm gonna head back to my place now. Do you need me for anything tomorrow, do you think?
I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, we have our list of those that we're going to talk to already. But if we need anything, we know how to get a hold of you. So.
That's right. You know where to find me. Okay. Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing what you find out, and I will keep an eye on the house. I'll tell you that for sure. And if anything else funny happens, I will let you know as well. So
we appreciate it. Do you want at least an hour of light to walk? It's a bit dark.
Oh, that'd be great.
Journey. I can only provide an hour.
That's so sweet.
I'll pick like a rock up off the ground, and I'll cast light on it and hand it to her.
Oh, thank you so much. That'll help. That will help.
Like,
all right.
That it's only an hour.
That's fine. I travel pretty fast when I'm on my own, so don't you worry about me. I just go straight through the brush. I don't really need a path, so this will help.
You have to remember the ground.
That's right. You told me how to keep an eye out for those, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you all had a big day. I'm so glad to meet you all. I will see you again soon, no doubt, and I will let you know if anything else funny happens. Whew. All right. Time to get some rest. And she gets down on all fours and just like she tucks the little like stone into her like ties it onto her like apron.
I should have cast it on a stick.
That's all right. She's got it figured out. And just like on all fours and just like with surprising speed, just boom, 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 like straight down the edge of the mountainside. So yeah. Yeah, look, it's just
full on Winnie the Pooh style.
So Yadira will happily give you a room if you guys want rooms, or if you just want to hang out on the deck for the evening again as you did the night before. I don't know if there's anything else that y'all want to do tonight. Probably we can just skip to the next morning.
My notes say that Yadira wanted to talk to us after the funeral.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I'll probably, because I'm assuming Yadira is the one that flagged me down.
Yeah. I think she did. Yep. So she'll probably have a chat with you, maybe pour you a beer or something at the inn before bed.
Yeah.
Fibbit, was there something you wanted to do?
No, well, Fibbit wants to take a nap at the very least, but
oh yeah. No, it's pretty much bedtime. This is just a nightcap, and so Yadira will pour you a beer and sort of once again say, I'm sorry, I may have underestimated Tessie's concerns. Thank you for handling that. Yeah.
You didn't know, and I'm assuming things like this don't happen here very often.
Not as such, no. So, listen, we had, the pass, as you let us know, had been buried in the landslide from yesterday. So, she sort of like scratches she's got, just re-describe her for a second. She's a half orc. She has sort of pistachio colored skin and like a auburn undercut, wearing a flannel shirt. And yeah, she kind of like picks at one of her short little tusks. Yeah, well, so, we got a cleanup party out there today, and they got the road cleared. We had a few folks go out. I was pretty grateful for that. This is it. This is only one road in and out of town, so we had to fix that shit up pretty quick. Got it sorted, at least big enough for a cart to come through. And one of them reported back to me, asked if this meant anything to me. Had found, I guess, like the body of a halfling out there in the mess, and got a couple of his things. And
We didn't have anything to do with that.
she's like like reaching for a bundle of cloth and like eyeballs you.
Do I get to do a deception check?
Sure.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Go for it.
Okay.
You have too much power. Natural one. That's incredible. So she's just like squints, like holds your gaze and squints at you as she like brings the pile in front of her. Uh-huh. She has a bundle of, which you recognize as the clothing that, or at least the cloak, sort of like, it was like a cloak scarf combo sort of that they had thrown across their face. A green, deep green fabric. And she unbundles that. It has a couple of other just like random pieces in it that they were wearing. There's a belt in there and sort of a standard leather belt, and a small bag which doesn't have much in it. But she says there were a couple of these tucked in the back of their, I don't know, back of their belt, I guess, separate from the pouch. Looks like it might have been more important. And she takes out 2 metal discs. They're about this big, smaller than a loaf of bread. They look like they might be brass or copper, some kind of sort of goldenish colored metal. Pretty plain, but clearly like very specifically wrought to be a perfect circle. Says, I don't know what these are. I thought you might have seen this person. And must say, starting to think my suspicions were confirmed. And she's looking at you, Fibbit. I take it you do, in fact, know something about this?
No.
Do the discs look familiar?
Roll an Arcana check, please. Anybody who wants to can do that.
Okay. That's cocked. These dice are going to dice jail.
Well,
12?
I got a 7.
Okay. No, these do not look familiar to either of you.
okay, no idea what they are. Got it.
Yeah.
Here, I might know. Devin,
She's sort
no
of
idea.
waving them gently. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to know what these are. I can
Wait.
take these to Mick in the morning and, ask him. He knows a thing or two. But what happened out there during the landslide? Like, was that, you saw that, right?
We were attacked. Saw someone up on the hill. Landslide came down. We ran, and we were attacked on the road.
I was just going for a lovely walk, and then the hill or mountain was really angry.
Mhm.
I originally thought these two had something to do with it, and I'll point to Devin and Fibbit. But it turns out there's somebody else that had caused the blast from the top. They came down later and we fought. And they admitted to essentially setting the explosions, but and we've kind of been traveling together since.
Also the one that the dead one that we didn't kill was working with. The other one is on the island and is also trying to kill people.
Go back to the dead one you didn't. Oh, you mean this fellow?
Yeah, that guy.
Just like eyeballing whatever like weapons you might have visible.
I don't have any weapons visible.
Does anybody else have any visible? I think Quell, you probably do. Yeah.
I've got my hammer.
Got your hammer. Okay. So there were two people, and this guy was one of them, and the other one's still out here. Is that what you're telling me?
On the island.
Ursula's place?
Mm-hmm.
We were actually out there and got our asses handed to us.
Can you describe this person?
Which one?
The other one, the one that's at the lake house. And I can remind you if you need me to.
She's pale and a lady and has a look of murderous intent and evil.
Yeah, she's, just to remind you guys, she's like a super, super pale-skinned woman who looks human probably, but there's always a little bit of a question mark there. And she was wearing like just like a dirty brown coat, and she told you her name was Kina. I don't know if you want to share that with everybody, but she has javelins. She carries javelins and a crossbow, to your knowledge.
I don't see why not. Yes, I will share the information.
Oh, like Susha Yadira will kind of lean in, like super pale, right? Like almost white. Yeah, okay. I saw her. She stayed here a few nights ago.
Oh?
Yeah. I mean, her and, seems like this person was also, she's like nodding to the halflings things. Seemed like, judging from this clothing and judging from her clothing, just like mercenary types, swords for hire, javelins in her case, I suppose, from what you're describing. So.
Did they talk to anybody?
Nah, pretty much keep to themselves. I mean, they're always looking for work, those kind of folks,
So who did they ask for work from?
I don't know. I just stay here most of the day, So possible they were hired by somebody, I guess. Seems like, listen, somebody like that isn't going to be putting that much effort into something she's doing on her own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pay up in order for that level of commitment to be put in, frankly.
When did they stay here?
Well, I didn't see this person. She's nodding to the halflings things, but Kina, as you said, that was like a few days ago.
2 days ago?
Maybe 3. Something like that.
Fibbit like kind of fidgets with their hands. You're sure you can't remember specifically?
Last night. You folks were here last night. Night before that. So 1, 2, 3 nights ago.
Was Alan there when Kina was there? Because Alan had been staying at this inn.
Yes. You had not seen her, though. Yeah, your dear will sort of nod, tip her chin in your direction and say, you might not have seen her. She was staying down in the bottom rooms. She didn't talk to anybody or have any of the food here or anything like that. So there's a separate exit down at the bottom as well for those rooms. Because of course the Storkslagen is like kind of on the slope. So there's the deck kind of up top, and then the private rooms are actually like below 2 levels. And there is like a rocky little path you can take to get down to those, or you can go through the stairs on the inside of the building. That's all I got. That's my best guess as far as somebody hired them to do something, rather take down the mountain. Why would they want to do that?
Well, when we were trying to be good people and not kill her, we were asking her questions, and she said that she was just hired to get people.
Hired to get people?
Apparently her bosses need people.
She like runs her
So
heavy fingers through her hair. That's ominous. It's the word I would use.
Wondering if they tried to take out the side of the mountain just to stop anyone from coming in or leaving, so that they could take the town.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well, they didn't carry that out,
no,
which is a good thing.
Did a great job.
Are there any other missing people? Like maybe there's a notice board or something?
Yeah, there's a board down at the general store. You could take a look at that.
We were going to head there tomorrow.
All right.
Fibbit.
Is there a chance that we could look at her room?
Oh, yeah, I don't see why not. It's empty right now. You can head down. It's,
just to see if she left anything.
Sure, yeah. It's at 2D, I think it was. So head down 2 stories, you'll find it.
Okay.
And you can take any of the rooms down on level 2. You can have them for the night. You've done a lot of good work here today, so Ursula vouched for you and all, so yeah.
Nice. She let us borrow her boat.
Yeah, she's a good sort. Her family's Burnpaw's been around here for generations, so she's good folk.
We're going to try and figure out what's going on with the island. So,
alrighty.
Well,
Yadira reaches under the bar and takes out like a big fucking sword and just like leans it up against the back of the bar. Gonna keep that on me tonight.
Does she seem like she kind of was taken aback by the things that we were telling her and like this whole thing? Like, what does she seem like?
Yeah, give me an insight check. Anybody who wants to can make an insight check.
I'm not suspicious of her. I'm taking her at face value.
10.
Okay.
I'm rolling shit. I got a 7.
Wow.
Okay. Did you want to roll it all, Quell, or are you good?
I got a 9.
Got a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should roll. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, go for it.
Wisdom
Listen,
based,
I'll give
right?
you the opportunity. I'm not choosy.
Okay. Wisdom based, right? Insight. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't great. 11.
11.
So,
okay. Yeah, pretty much
better
all of
than
you.
everyone else.
Yeah. Pretty much all of you get the same impression, which is just that she is not a very emotive person. She is stone-faced by nature. She's certainly furrowed her brow at you. She seems genuinely perplexed, but you can't get any other subtext. Beyond that, she doesn't, let on much.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys want to go head down and take a look at the room? Alrighty. Okay, so the halls there's like basically one little hall with 4 rooms off of it down each floor. First floor and the second floor, which is the lowest one, have 4 rooms, pretty spare. They're neatly kitted out. They have like a neat little, twin bed, not dirty, very clean, but very simple. Go ahead. Anybody who wants to can go ahead and roll me an investigation check on the room. It looks, it's been, the bed has been made. Yadira would have come in here. Yeah, Yadira would have come in here and made the bed and, checked for anything obvious. So you'd be looking for details here.
I got an 18.
I got a 19.
4. Ahilan lays on the ground and looks at a crack underneath the bed.
Oh. Yes, Ahilan, you see, you're now looking actually like down the side of the hill. So there's some like cute little planties down there, some rocks. It's really lovely. So this would be Fibbit and
19.
Devin. Okay, so you case the room pretty thoroughly. There is nothing that stands out to you. I would say, Devin, you would probably be aware that somebody who does that kind of work for other people is good at not leaving any trace behind. So you see that there's like a little wash basin, and it has been neatly put back, like neatly arranged. The like pitcher and there's like a little wooden chair have been neatly arranged by the wall. You can see a few, there's layers of boot scuff marks. A couple of them look like they're recent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some black marks on the wooden floor, but the bed is made. There is no particular trace of a person in here. Almost a little unnaturally. Like there's no like hairs or anything around either. Like not even like any of that, or or fur fluff or anything.
Can I do a fur bulk trait? Which is a lot of fun.
Ooh, what's
cast detect magic. I can do it once per short rest.
Okay.
So I'll just say like I'm looking around like normally, and all of a sudden Devin's like yellow eyes flash green, and then they like stay green. They're not their normal yellow color, and I'm looking around, and that's my detect magic.
Okay, there is absolutely nothing magical in this room.
Okay.
Nor is there anything, there's no people staying in the rooms next to this one either. So you don't sense anything in there.
Nothing
Do you,
like...
you want to take a look at what your companions have on them?
No, I'm okay with that. I want to open the door though and see if there's anything like outside the door though too. I don't know. Because you said there's a private. Is there a door in this room, or is it a private exit? Like
it's a private exit at the end of the hallway. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I look out the window? Is there anything that I can see out? I'm assuming there's a window.
It's dark, so yeah. I mean, you can't see anything besides sort of the hillside, and you can see there's sort of the same boot scuffs down by the end of the hall, but it's clearly layers of people who have stayed here. So yeah, and nothing magical in the hallway.
Okay. I guess I'll like turn to my party members and realize I still have it up, and I might like drop it.
It's very polite of you.
Definitely freaks away a little bit until it goes away.
My green eyes, and then they like flash back yellow, or fade. We'll say they kind of fade yellow.
Fibbit like takes a second and is like, so maybe Kina. I'm thinking Kina was recruited by the mastermind that's just trying to destroy the world on the island. And also probably Kina is not the person that murdered Dr. Scarab, because Dr. Scarab and Ushi were killed 3 days ago, and she was here 3 days ago. So whoever killed them would have had to have been on the island, right? Because their bones were on the island.
Ushi was killed the night before.
Oh, right. Ushi, sorry, not Ushi, but Dr. Scarab. The Dr. Scarab was killed 3 days ago, and that was also when the fire was. So, and she was here, so she didn't kill Dr. Scarab.
She could have done it earlier in the day.
I mean, maybe.
And there was another person, so it could have been her.
Yeah, there was another individual. There's at least two that were running towards the cabin.
Right. So I think it would have been one of them that killed Dr. Scarab. Like, I think it's possible that Kino was recruited after, because they said they need people, right? So I think maybe when she first got here, she was recruited and then started working with them.
I think I agree with Fibbit. There's probably something inside the cabin. I almost said cabinet. Cabin.
I agree.
Can we take a nap now? My brain hurts.
There was a reason they didn't want us in.
Mm-hmm.
This is that guardian thing.
Right.
Yeah, Quell, you saw the two humanoids basically go to the house and disappear in the house. And
Did
you know
one
that
of
there
the
was
humanoids seem to be very pale, like Kino?
you
or
did
too hard
not
to
get
tell?
a good glimpse, but like could have been, yeah. You do also know that like there was somebody also left outside along with the guardian. Because you got javelined.
Was the halfling super pale? I can't remember.
No, very tan skin.
Okay.
I think we're dealing with a group.
It's a cult, a doomsday cult that is summoning a being of light in their basement that will turn us all into soot stains upon the ground.
That's right, Fibbit. Better watch out tonight when you go to sleep.
And with that, I think it's time for bed.
Yeah.
I will roll for exhaustion.
All right, who's
Sam,
who's staying?
I'm taking
with
watch.
Okay. Do you all want to stay? Each room has one. But there's 2 rooms. There's 4 rooms downstairs. 2 of them have a single bed. 2 of them have double set of beds. So you've got options as far as who wants to stay with whom, etc.
I'm going to be sleeping up higher, a little bit more open. It's a bed too cramped in here for me. And you'll just kind of like see a little like twitch of feathers.
Oh.
I want to sleep nearest. I want to sleep outside. I'm going to go out to the porch.
Okay. So the 2 of you head up to the deck as you did last night. Devin and Fibbit, you want a room?
I would prefer to stay with my team.
Fibbit.
So I guess I'll look at Fibbit and be like, camping outside.
Fibbit pouts and then grabs the blankets off 2 of the beds and like bundles them all up. And
Vera is not going to be happy.
Fibbit, you hear a thump as Fibbit frowns at you.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll look at Ahalin when we get outside and I'll say, can we stay with you? Just camping out like we did the night before. With all of this going on, I would prefer to stay together.
Of course.
I'll take first watch if you don't mind.
Oh, we're going to take watches? I didn't even think of that.
I would prefer to. I'm pretty okay. I'll stay awake the first watch and then someone else can take the other two. I do need to sleep some.
I don't mind. I can take a watch. Which one would you want me to take?
Fibbit, you want to take a watch?
Do I have to?
Would prefer if you did.
I'll take the second watch.
Oh.
up on the railing.
Yeah. And then I just lay back down.
Little hunch, feathers hunched.
Then maybe you can take third.
Certainly.
Fibbit, you take the last one.
Okay.
You got this.
So we've got Devin taking first watch, Quell taking second, and Ahlin, are you gonna do one?
Third.
Third? And then Fibbit might be up with Ahlin if he's not way too sound asleep by then. Okay.
Fibbit,
Alrighty.
Fibbit turns himself into a bundle of blankets and flops like looking like this little mummy of blankets and leans against Devin to sleep.
Yadira definitely gave you the side eye when you came through with like all of the pillows and blankets, but she let you do it.
I'll give
When-
her money.
When Fibbit looks like they're asleep, Ahlin will take, like, she already removes her skirts when she's going to sleep anyways, and she'll just like tuck them around Fibbit for like extra warmth or whatever.
Oh, precious.
Okay, so Devin, first watch, go ahead and roll for me.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
Perception check, please. Guidance probably wouldn't work in this case because this is over like a few hour period
Okay.
that your
I can't
perception
guidance
check
myself.
covers.
Wrong cleric.
Oh, yeah, and since this is basically like an overall like few hour period.
Wrong cleric. Whoops. Can you tell I play a lot of clerics? Oh, okay. That is my perception bonus again. 17.
Okay. The beginning part of the night passes pretty quietly. There's no real, it's pretty chilly still because it's the springtime, and so there's no real like night, humming insects about or anything like you would expect to find in the middle of summer. Sound travels nicely at night, so you can hear very faint, if you really strain your ears, you can hear very faint little kind of water lapping sounds from hundreds of feet below at the lake. Yeah, your big old ears.
Kind of twitch a little bit, like.
Mm-hmm. You can hear in the distance to the west, like the very faint sound of something large crashing through the brush, which you figure is probably Ursula, because she's making her way for that first couple out. Like it's gonna takes her about an hour, so she can move like double speed down the slope. So that's the very first part of your watch, and then after that, it is all nice and quiet.
Everybody, stop slouching. We've got a posture
Oh,
check.
jeez.
Yeah.
It was a character choice, okay? Yadira
Sure.
slouches
Whatever you say.
heavily. Okay. Fine.
Thanks, Roku.
Thanks, Roku. And with that, yeah, your watch passes uneventfully after that. Well, go ahead and roll for me for the second watch. Perception check, please.
12.
12. Okay. Great. So it is, the very middle of the night when you are keeping watch, sort of a velvety darkness all around. There's not a ton of light coming out of the inn. Basically, Yadira leaves on a candle at the front desk, which is also the bar, because taverns. And so you can see pretty well into the darkness because there's not light pollution out here. The town goes real pitch black at night. Nothing in particular catches your feathery ears during your watch. You hear in town and around like a couple of people out, maybe walking around. You know that there are some folk who are nocturnal, and so that doesn't seem terribly out of the ordinary. Like you walked past raccoon folk in town earlier. They might be out late. They seem like they were starting their day.
Just stare out. Adorable.
Okay. Third watch, Ahlin and Fibbit, if you get up or not. Are you gonna keep
15?
watch, Fibbit?
Fibbit will open bleary eyes and look like half dead as they slowly, like their fur is like smushed on one side when they were like leaning against Devin's side, and they're like,
You can sleep longer if you want.
oh, I gotta.
You don't have to do anything.
But Devin asked me to.
I think Devin would understand if you wanted to sleep a little longer.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll perception at disadvantage, please.
Okay.
Sleepy bunny.
Yeah.
And you rolled a 15, Ahlin?
Yes.
Okay, great.
A 9.
A 9? Okay.
Yeah, 9.
Great. So you are both basically taking the dawn watch. And so the first, hour or so, which is where it's still dark, is quiet, just as Quell's watch was. You hear a few normal sounding rustlings from town, such as it is. And as the dawn starts to lighten the sky, the little insects and things start to come out for the day. You are comforted, Ahlin, by the very faint sounds of the water below. Around what's probably like 5, 6, thinking of when it would get light, 6 a.m. Yadira comes out to start the morning. Comes into the main room. She doesn't come out on the deck to disturb you guys, but wakes up and is starting her morning routine along with Marty, the cook, and the raccoon folk putters in for their dinner. So things are just very, very slowly starting to come to, daily life. The nightly life is fading, and the daylight is coming. And that's all.
Fibbit is sleeping again. Fibbit has
Yeah.
fallen asleep.
And with that, you all get a long rest. Hooray!
Yay!
Yeah.
I was specifically waiting. Oh, yeah. I was specifically waiting for you to say we got a long rest because I have jumped the gun before and given myself a long rest.
Oh.
When something bad has happened.
All right. And I figure actually this is a good moment to take a break. So you guys can start on your day in town. We will take a short 10-minute break or so. Does that work for everybody?
Sounds good. We
Jeez.
will
Okay.
see y'all soon.
Okay. See you soon.
Bye. everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to episode 5 of Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We are Queer Bee Dragons. Chris, tell people the stuff.
Catch us. Well, welcome to Queer Bee Dragons. Again. Catch us every other Sunday live on Twitch. Catch up on our YouTube channel and give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Queer Bee Dragons.
Woo!
Hurrah. Well, good morning to all of the characters. It is a crisp spring day. And yeah, you had an uneventful night. When you head in for breakfast, Yadira tries to be nice about it, but cannot give you any more free stuff because she can't afford to. So if you all want breakfast, it'll be 1 silver each. And that includes Ahlin, you would be treated to whatever's going bad in the icebox in the back. And Yadira is going to come with you. She's got these discs that she's still not sure about. She says, if you don't mind, I'm going to tag along with you all. I want to bring this to Mick and see what he's got to say about him because he knows magic stuff. And metal stuff. So yeah, ready when you folks are. She's got her sword. She straps her sword to her side.
Fibbit keeps Devin between them and Yadira.
I give Yadira, like, I guess technically a whole gold piece because I feel bad about the blanket side we took outside to sleep. It was like an extra, I'm really sorry, and I was paying for everybody's breakfast.
Oh, how generous.
Fibbit's
She gives you a grateful nod.
But we didn't end up using any of the rooms that she gave us, so we were already being nice. I just took blankets because the room was given to us. I thought, was I not allowed? Because the rooms were given to us, so I took the blankets out of the room. Because don't you get to have while you have the room, you get to have the stuff in the room, right? But just like those are the rules, right?
Yadira has taken the gold piece. It's disappeared, and she's actually not paying attention to y'all anymore. She's headed back in to talk to Marty, the chef.
Are those not the rules?
I don't think you did anything wrong, Fibbit.
Thank you.
I just gave her extra tip money for the extra washing it's going to take to clean those blankets because they were outside.
Oh, okay.
They'll get a little extra moldy because it's not quite summer.
But wouldn't that be made up for because she doesn't have to clean the rooms because we didn't use them?
No, she still has to remake those beds.
Just for 1 out of the 3 rooms she gave us.
Yeah, but she still has to make those. I'm just being nice, Fibbit.
This is so complicated.
It's not your money.
Fibbit has a point, though. You really didn't have to do that. Because there's a lot of people and folks and different creatures that go in there and make more of a mess than Fibbit's fur or outside could ever do.
I just feel bad. So
maybe you should stop feeling so bad for things, Devin.
You got me there.
I do that enough for the both of us, apparently.
Sometimes you don't feel bad enough, Fibbit.
If she'd let me, I'd probably wash the blankets for her.
Yeah.
So
I'm hungry. Can we eat now?
I'm waiting on the food to show.
Oh yeah. You guys already got your food.
Okay.
Yeah. We can kind of fast forward through that unless you don't want to. But
No.
you got some more bread pudding. It's got like oat milk and some molasses on it. And yeah, Yaddy will come back, or Yadira, Marty the cook calls her Yaddy, but she'll come back out, and I'm like, I got my nicknames for my own characters. She'll come back out, sort of pat the sword at her side and say, all right, yeah, ready when you are. And you guys can head out.
Let's go.
So I know you had a couple places you wanted to go. You wanted to see the blacksmith, which maybe you're going to do first, and I think the general store perhaps also.
And then also we need to talk to Red, or Fibbit says we need to talk to Red.
Oh, does Fibbit, did they say that?
Yeah, you know what? Fibbit's just like, I want to talk to Red. He's the sheriff.
You get this same eye roll from Yadira, almost identical that you did from Ursula. Just make that last, if you must.
You don't like Red either?
He's useless. Useless piece of shit. Listen, we let him. He wants to call himself the sheriff of this town. That is his prerogative. He hasn't hurt anybody, but he hasn't helped anybody either. So,
do you think this opportunity would arise for him and he'd take it?
I appreciate your optimism.
Oh, I was asking. I don't have an opinion. I don't know him.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so, but I appreciate your optimism. Yeah, you can talk to him anytime you like. He lives at the other end of the town, such as it is. But she's leading you down. Basically, it's the one road. Everything's kind of squeezed in there. A few buildings up the slope, and a few buildings, to the north. The sort of the north is the slope up the mountain, and she takes you through. There's a few other little buildings. There's some dwellings. Some people who kind of live also on the edge of the slope, the way on the edge of the cliff, the way the stork's leg is. You pass what looks like a bakery, which has a sign outside it that says baked goods, and then in small letters sometimes.
Fibbit Fibbit does kind of a lean back as they're passing the bakery. What's it smell like?
It's good. Yeah, it smells kind of like onions and bread, fresh bread and onions.
Does it smell like berries?
No.
No, okay.
It does not.
Fibbit looks offended.
Disappointed, offended. Yeah. It doesn't take long. Maybe a minute out of the inn when you can already hear the sound of a blacksmith shop. You can hear the clanging sound, and Yadira takes you towards that. You guys pass the general store on the way there. There's also it's probably the nicest looking building in town other than the inn. Just has a sign that says Cloventop General Store. Looks like it's got some dry goods and stuff hanging up and looks pretty typical. But you guys head to the blacksmith shop, and that has a sign outside, very well made sign, crafted out of metal, that says McEllen Thrain, smithing and leather, repairs 1 GP or less, 10-minute item ID. Achlin, you have been here before. He's got kind of a open air, there's a couple walls, but and a little bit of an overhang, but he's also got a section of his shop that's open air, and there's a living space in back. So the clanging sound is quite loud now.
Yeah.
You guys, as you, Yadira will go first into the shop, and the clanging will stop. And as you guys enter, you see Mick Thrain, who is an Earth Genasi. He's maybe 5'10" or so, not wearing a shirt. He has deep, reddish brown skin. He's got pretty really well-defined muscles, as you would expect from somebody who's blacksmithing and leatherworking all day. He has black hair, which is tied back in a ponytail. As he turns his head, you can see it's tied with a bent nail. And he's wearing a stiff leather half apron down on the front, and linen pants, which are also kind of a reddish brown. He is absolutely dripping with sweat, and it doesn't seem to be it's not just on one part of his body. It's definitely warm in here. The open air does not seem to have enough of a breeze to be preventing. You're like, this guy sweats a lot. It's notable. And as he kind of gets up, you can see he's got rivulets of sweat going down his front. He's got a bit of a belly, affable looking fellow, pleasant look on his face. And from behind him, you see there's like something fluttering back there. And as you kind of get a better look, you realize there's like a little winged, not a creature exactly. Like as it sort of flutters out from behind him, you see that it's a rag, basically, like a little animated flying cotton rag. And it's just like fluttering along around him, wiping sweat off of him just constantly and sort of absorbing it. For a minute, you can see his sweat kind of is like a reddish brown, same as his skin color, and it just absorbs into the white of this little fluttering rag. He has, as he sort of puts his tools down, you can see he's got tattoos up the front, up the sort of top of his forearms. They're a dark, like a really, really dark gray, almost a black color, and in sort of very simple geometric shapes. And on one side, he's got several like nails and little metal scraps that are like stuck to the tattoos. Looks like they might be magnetic. He greets Yadira. Hey, Yadi, what's cooking? Haven't seen you in a minute. You got new folks here, hey? Hi, everybody. Name's Mick.
Hi, Mick.
It's a nice story you have here.
Fibbit's like bashfully hiding behind Devin. Just like, hi.
Ahlan, when he sees you, he gives you like a very polite little partial bow, and a nod of the head. It's good to see you. What can I do for you folks today?
Wow.
Repairs, life advice.
There has been some trouble going on in town. I don't know if you noticed.
Can't say I have. What's up?
I'll like
been in here.
kind of point at Ursula and I'm like, well, the road was, I don't know the word, covered, now uncovered.
The landslide. I did hear about that. Yeah, a couple folks went out there and cleared it out, so I think we're good to go.
We circle around the group, say we were attacked, and the landslide was included with that. And then we have found some of your town members dead. Aye.
That's new.
Ushi, a little squirrel guy running around.
Oh, the Chivo fellow, hey?
He is sadly passed.
You're kidding me.
No. And we think we may have found Professor
Scarab.
Professor Scarab, thank you, Party. Professor Scarab as well.
As he folds his arm, a couple of nails drop, think, on the floor. Goblin fellow, right? Used to come out from a big city a couple times a year. Nice guy.
Ursula's little island family house.
Yeah. Did some repairs out there last year.
It's been occupied by an evil organization that's going to destroy the world.
I see. Okay. Well, what can I help with, I suppose, would be my next question, if anything.
Didn't know if you had any information, but seeing as you might not.
I mean, Yadira steps forward with the discs and says, hey, figured I'd ask you about these metal type things. I don't know what they are. She hands them over and he takes a good look, grabs the rag out of the air and wipes them down and tosses it back into the air behind him. And turns it over in his hands. Says, sure. Yeah, I've seen these. It's a spell disc. You know, made of sometimes brass, sometimes copper. People make them out of all sorts of things. But yeah, you just throw a spell in there and it stores it for you. You can
And then if
activate it.
And then you step on it and it goes off.
Could do. Yeah, could be activated any number of ways. Usually it's just by skin contact, you know? So, yeah, could do. Could put it down on the ground. I think I've seen some that are a little fancier. Can't really tell from the outside whether this is or not. But, yeah, could be pressure activated, could be, you know, fire activated, water, anything like that. You can do all sorts of things with these guys. But yeah, it's a spell disc. They sell them down at the general store. You need, you know, if you need a few, and this probably could be recharged.
Wait, is it? Oh, it's not charged with anything right now.
No, this one ain't charged. No, flat dead at the moment. But you could charge it up with a spell if you want. It just holds one, not too high level. Yeah, I mean, if you folks need, the general store's got some components and things too, you know, if you need those. And they've got some very, very basic spell stuff. I think they've got a couple of these in the back.
We found a couple, these used as landmines along the trail to Ursula's, as well as just...
Like you step on them and they...
Yeah, it got, looks to the party, a few of us iced and or I know very much upset Ursula.
That is
going to her cabin.
Good. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't use them. You can use them for anything you want. Generally speaking, I haven't seen them used to hurt people, but you certainly could.
They've just really been used as booby traps of some sort.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. They're single use, so it's not gonna, you know, they won't pop off again if you've activated one once.
May I have them forever?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Hold on. Okay. Persuasion with disadvantage. All right. Okay. Yeah, all right. So Pivot's like, can I have one forever?
Yadira kind of half turns to you and just like squints and shakes her head, turns back to Mick. All right, well, I mean, I don't have any use for these things. If you want to keep them, Mick, you know, use them for something around the place. And Mick says, yeah, I'll hang on to them. Can always use a couple of magical items. Speaking of which, if you folks got any items on you need ID'd or anything repaired, I can do almost anything for a gold or less.
I did want to bring some of that up. I know we have a few items. Is it a gold per item?
Oh, item ID? No, that's 2 silver. But it'll take you 10 minutes each. So if you get a little time, you can hang around. I can work on them. What you got? He's looking very interested. He kind of rubs his hands together, like always interested to see new magical things.
Fibbit holds up their chocolate milk potion.
Okay, he'll take that.
Yeah. This one, I'm pretty sure it's a poison that rots you from the inside out. But I wanted to make sure.
Okay. He's unfazed by that. Seems legit.
Yeah.
I'm double checking my notes.
Okay.
Ahilan will hand him the large sphere bottle that has like a mist, or it looks like mist or fog inside of it.
Okay. That one he sort of takes in his big old calloused hand and says, "Oh yeah, well I can tell you this off the bat. This is one of those ever smoking bottles. This one's a sphere, so a little different properties. You can actually break this over something and it'll smoke for a good long while. But yeah, ever smoking sphere. There you go." So Ahlin, you can search for that and add it to your inventory on D&D Beyond. I created a item for it. Find out how it works.
It's called Ever
Smoking Sphere. And
Thank
if you
you.
can't find it, let me know and I'll change the permissions, but I think I got it right. Anybody have anything else you want to give him?
We got a pan flute. Did we find out if that was magic or not?
It does, yeah, it did seem to have a little bit of magical essence coming off of it. Not that, you would know that overtly without Detect Magic up, but yeah. He'll take that if you want to.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Do you want to check your cloak that you got last session?
I was curious on the cloak. I don't know if this is really anything. And I'll just kind of like plop it up.
The cloak, okay. He grabs the rag out of the air before he touches that, because it looks like he's gonna probably get it all reddish brown with like basically he's got it, like his sweat is like oxidized like rust. So anything he touches that is not the magical rag gets like kind of reddy brown.
That's beautiful.
That's fucking hot. Let's go.
This man. Fibbit's never experienced attraction before, but
Ahlin, he's like trying not to, but he's kind of looking at you maybe more than everybody else.
Wow.
Trying to be polite about it, but like maybe his gaze lingers a little.
Betrayal.
She is just going about her day. It's Ahlin.
Oh, sorry, I just hit my mic. Okay.
Everybody take a drink.
Hydration break.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
The little sound effect makes
I
me
am
laugh
thirsty.
so much every time.
I know.
We are
Yeah,
thirsty.
Yadira does ask you folks, she'll say, you folks find anything down there while you were out and about? Like anything else you might want to have him take a look at or anything like that? Any evidence, such as it is?
Definitely a hit from the DM, but I don't think anybody wrote
know.
it down.
I'm trying to think.
What
Like,
did you-
I wrote
yeah, what'd you
everything
find?
down.
You got it. You got it.
The bones?
The
No.
bones.
There was something, maybe was it the spell component? Like mixed together? Maybe that has something. This is
Oh,
all
the
out of
Yeah.
Yeah.
The feather.
maybe the feather.
Oh, the feather!
Yeah, Ahlin will pull that feather out as well. I believe she had that actually. Or wait, no, did she hand that to you, Fibbit?
Pivot, I think,
Oh, yeah.
untied it.
Yeah. Quill, I think it was you who ID'd it as an Asimar feather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right.
That
So
is
you know
correct.
that one. Yeah, you guys also, well, I guess I'll say, since I've been talking about a little bit of magical essence that you might pick up on, there was a belt and a crowbar that you guys found, and the crowbar actually surprisingly has a little bit of that on it. And I'm being a little fast and loose with this, but I want you guys
Crowbar,
to have the
little
cool
box.
stuff.
Metal,
Thanks!
crates, belts, rocks,
Yeah.
sleeves. I have the belts and the
Okay.
crowbar. So yeah.
So the
I
belt
wish I-
buckle is of interest, and the crowbar could be of interest.
Oh, yeah, I'll hold on that.
He'll grab that first, the crowbar, actually, out of all the things, and sort of like flip it around in his hands and like look at each side of it. Very like practiced eye. And you'll see him sort of squint at it, concentrate, just like still as stone for like about 3.5 seconds. And zoom, it turns into a wrench in his hand. Yeah, that's an all-purpose tool. This is good stuff. Hands it back to you, Devin. Won't do as much for you as it would for me, but I've got one. So
Is the coolest thing.
yeah, you can turn it into just about anything. with a little effort.
How?
Well, anything, any tool, you know. So yeah, enjoy that.
How?
That's magic and shit, you know.
Do I just
Gives you a cocky grin.
concentrate on the tool?
Let's grab all-purpose tool. Oh, I've got it open like a smart person.
This would be
As an
so
action, you can
helpful
touch the
on
item and transform it into any type of artisan's tool of your choice. Technically speaking, rules as written, it requires attunement by an artificer, but we're going to play fast and loose with that because it's just cool.
We don't have an artificer.
Yeah.
At the moment.
You would have to attune to it, but you would be able to turn it into any kind of tool. For an artificer, it also adds a bonus to spells.
Man. Fun fact for the people watching, an artificer was my other character that I was thinking about playing. So, wow, thanks, Rox. Got me dreaming about what could have been.
Could have been Mr. Mick Thrain. Bisexual King.
Wow! Okay.
That's right. All right. So yeah, he'll hand that back to you, Devin. And grab the other stuff. You care about an order for these? You want me to do them in a particular order? Because it'll take me 10 each. 10 minutes.
I have no preference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hang out or come back in, what do we got? 4 items. I think you guys do the pipes, the potion, the poncho or like cloak, and the belt buckle, right? Yeah, come on back in 40 or hang out and look pretty. Up to you.
Let's go talk to Red.
Okay, yeah, you can do that if you want to. Can't promise an intellectual conversation, says Mick. But
someone told me to respect authority one time.
Oh, that seems like a blanket kind of, statement. I would say respect good authority, but yeah, I wouldn't just respect any old person that puts on a little star badge and calls themselves a sheriff or what have you. He's fine. He ain't gonna hurt anybody, but not somebody I have a drink with, I'll tell you that. All right. Sits down, wipes off his hands with the rag, and starts in on ritual casting identify item or object or whatever the spell is.
Identify is just what it's called.
Identify. Ritual casting identify. Yeah.
Okay.
Yadira is going to hang out with him.
Okay.
She's just going to sit and chinwag a little bit.
He
can multitask.
Say what?
I wanted to check the notice board at the goods store.
I thought it would be a great idea to go check the store as well, just because if we can buy these plates, potentially we could also use them. Maybe beneficiary to us as well.
Okay. Alan will start walking out and say, "Bye, Mick." And then
bye, ma'am. Nice to meet you folks. See you later.
Fibbit looks back and is like,
yeah. Seemed like a little bit of flailing, which yeah. Okay, off you head to the general store, retracing your steps a little bit. There is a old ass wooden board outside that's got some sort of haggard looking parchment pinned to it, and looks like a sun bleached wooden board that's been out there for decades, probably a couple decades at this point, full of nail holes. One of the pieces of parchment is kind of half hanging off, but there's a couple of new notices on there if you want to take a look.
On our way, I rolled for Helen's perception to see if she noticed Fibbit's stumbling. And I rolled a 15, so she definitely noticed. Fibbit.
That would probably be insight, I think.
Is
and
it
I don't
insight?
know if yeah, well,
okay.
Yeah,
well,
I guess no, it would be perception if it's just the fact that Fibbit stumbled. So yeah, you would have probably noticed that. You just wouldn't have known why.
Okay. All right. If I don't know why, then that's fine. But
You can roll insight if you want to see.
oh,
if you know
can
why.
I? Can I? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
My
for it.
passive
19.
insight is 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Halo, you want to maybe explain a little of whatever you think a 19 would get to Ahlin?
So yeah, like I think like Ahlin with a 19, Ahlin can tell that like Fibbit like is kind of that nervous, like, oh, this person is attractive, but I don't know what to do about that. Like, I don't know, like, all of a sudden, you know, like when you're young and you have a crush, and then all of a sudden you're very aware of your entire body and every part about you. And Fibbit clearly doesn't know what to do about that. And it's just like, but also is like, I got. Will you look at me if I do it this way? Like, kind of like Fibbit clearly is experiencing. You are watching Fibbit experience something in real time for the very first time.
Fibbit,
Mm-hmm.
did you want me to introduce you to Mick? He's
But
very lovely.
Didn't we get introduced to him just now? Is that different?
Well, would you want to spend some time with him?
Maybe when he's not doing the bangs, because that hurt my ears.
Would you want that? I could ask him for you.
Would Devin
Or
be
you-
there?
Oh, you could ask Devin.
Devin, would you be there? You're muted.
So I have a passive perception of 15.
Okay. That's probably enough to know that, well, Fibbit always wants you with them.
Yeah.
Like, always.
But I also have older siblings
Yeah.
and younger siblings, so I feel like maybe I might know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, probably. Like, Fibbit has literally never acted this way around anyone ever.
Okay. So, Fibbit, are you sure you even want me around?
Well, yeah, because what if like something something from inside the shop falls and like spears one of our legs? You can be there to pull it out and fix us.
Honestly, I think Mick can handle himself.
Oh, okay. But then what if Mick decides he wants to eat me?
I don't think. But have I ever seen Mick eat? What does Mick eat?
Yeah,
when we have been together.
He is vegan.
Oh.
So no insects or any insect parts either. Or fish or anything like that.
He's actually vegan.
Really?
Oh, there you go. Don't have to worry about it.
Casually adding that to my description of the character in the document.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'll be there, and I guess if you want me to leave, I will, but
Okay.
you can play it by ear.
What's happening?
You just talk and you just get to know him. That's all.
Okay.
Fibbit, my dear.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever had a crush on someone?
I've never crushed anyone. I'm too small for that.
You've made it to the general store, by the way. You're standing outside.
We'll talk about this later, and I open the door.
Okay. Yeah, the door has a little bell on it. Ding ding as you walk in, and it is a fairly small building with only one room, and it's just floor to ceiling, like good old like hardware store and general store stuff, like pretty much all of the like repair equipment and like materials, and there's dry goods, and there is a section for very basic spell components. There are some like parchment and like whatever, I'm trying to think of, there's some like
there's stuff.
Yeah, some magical bits and bobs, nothing that would be more expensive than a few silver. And there's a ramkin person behind the counter who has sort of cool tone gray fur and very nicely polished horns, who looks non-binary, wearing a apron made out of some kind of like scaly insect leather. It's very nice. Like, looks like it was handmade. Yeah. Just kind of gives you a nod and continues writing in a big old ledger. Looks like maybe, doing the accounting or the books, whatever, sorting things out for the day at the store. There was a message board outside by the door if you wanted to take a look at it too, Ahlin.
Yeah, I'll head back that way.
Okay, there are a couple, there's just like maybe 3 or 4 notices on there at the moment. There's one that looks like it's been there for a while that says Beaverford's tree trimming service. There is a parchment with information on it about mail delivery. So it says snail mail, armored deliveries, daily pickup at 4 p.m. anywhere in Arkinia, 2 copper. There are a couple of papers that look like personal ads. Like, I guess there's nowhere else that you would put that. So a couple people have come by. I mean, basically, like, this is not really even within view. Like, when you're standing and looking at the board, you can't really even be seen by the proprietor. So anybody can put a notice on the board. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
So there's like missed connections. So it's like, I saw
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, totally.
17.
Saw you at the Stork's Leg
one
night. Super drunk. Yeah. Okay, great. So you do notice that there is a very neat looking pin that has a ripped, like just the remainder of a piece of paper that's been ripped off. And the paper is like pure white in color. Just a little scrap and a pin.
Oh. I'll take the little scrap.
Okay. You can grab the pin too. It's like looks like very neatly and smoothly made. Like, some of these notices are like pounded in with little like sticks, like hard, like little oak pegs or like staples, or there's all sorts of ways people have stuck things to this board. Beetle glue. But this is like a very neatly made little pin.
And the paper seems newer.
Yeah, very new.
And does the pen have anything to script on it?
No, it's just like a little plain sharp pin that was used to fix the paper onto the board.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was like a pin that you would wear.
No, like a push pin.
Oh, okay.
I should say a push pin.
Yeah, I also thought something similar to that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
I should mention the other thing. So behind when you're in the store, Ahlin, I assume you go in and join everybody. The proprietor at the counter, the counter looks like it's got a few other what might be magical bits and bobs, or like things that are a little bit more rare, not like super rare, but like not stuff they want to be pickpocketed, like, stolen or shoplifted rather, off of the shelves. A few things that are made out of gold, that look like apparel or jewelry of some kind, like little things maybe somebody's pawned off. And there's also a polished stone set in a bracket behind, well, sort of actually like one side of the counter. So you could sort of walk past the counter and get to it if you needed to. A beautifully polished stone that looks like it's been handled or like, touched many times over years and years. The bracket has a little bit of, tarnishing on it, but a stone about a little bigger than my head set in the wall. Do you have a question, Chris? I saw you go, huh?
Yeah, once it was the size of your head or larger, I was like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah, do you want to ask?
Gesture, yeah, I'll gesture to the. What's that?
Oh,
pointing to the object.
Hey, folks. Yeah, that's a sending stone. You can send message to anybody. Cast sending 50 words. Gives you a little double boost of words there. And it is, he would know, or they would know, sorry, offhand, and I don't remember how much it costs.
1 silver.
2 silver.
2 silver.
Yeah, 2 silver. Help yourself. Just pay first.
Yeah, can I actually get that? I feel like I look to the others. I feel like that would come in handy.
Fibbit nods.
Sorry. Oh, he says, or they say, sorry to misunderstand. 2 silver to send a message, that stays with me.
Oh, it's not for sale.
No,
then.
That's a permanent installation, but you can send any message from here, 50 words or less for 2 silver.
Why not?
Because it's mine.
Do you have one for sale?
Nope. I've never seen another one like this for sale. There's a few in the big cities, I think. But this is great. Yeah, I've been in my family for a couple generations. I'm Newless. Nice to meet you. Extends a cloven hoof.
Alan, nice to meet you.
Pleasure. I've seen you around. You've been around town for a couple days, hey?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. If you need to send something, let me know. Hey, you, squints at you, Quell. What's your name?
Quell. I
Hang on a sec. Last name Ulid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a message for you. Hang on. And they rummage around in a sort of a crate that they've got behind the counter that looks like it's got letters of various kinds, a couple of small packages.
I'm intrigued and I'm peeking over. I'm spying a little bit.
Yeah. Pulls out a piece, a smallish letter. It's just a folded piece of parchment that you have seen many times before, that kind of parchment, and hands it over to you. And I will send you what is written in that note.
Wow.
Or if you want, I can read it out loud. Depends on whether you think you would want to keep it private or not. But here it is. There you go. I sent it over Messenger for you.
Okay.
Yeah, he rubs his hooves together and looks at the rest of you. Anything I can get for you? I keep saying he, it's they, them. What is wrong with me? This is my character.
Remember, I had the exact same issue with Gerald. Do you remember with one of my NPCs?
Yes.
Yeah. Or one of my
It's because
villains.
I've got their sort of presentation in mind, and I'm still, that shows you how deeply ingrained gender binaries are.
Yeah. Is it better or worse to misgender someone you made up?
I don't know. I think it's better. I think it's more forgivable because you're not insulting anybody else.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not insulting a real person. Do you have any of those mines?
What now?
Fibbit looks at Devin. The mines.
No. The spell discs.
Spell discs.
Oh.
We were told that we could buy them.
Yeah, we got a couple of those. Sure. They're here on the counter. Yeah.
How much are they?
2 gold apiece.
Have you sold many of these? Recently?
Few. None recently. No. They're pretty common though. Sometimes I'll buy them from, people who are passing through. We get so many travelers in and out of this town, and I'll I buy and sell too for anything you want to offload, might be interested in. I'm good with that as well. But
Did,
nothing like in the last couple days. So.
did
Not
a,
in the last couple of days.
No.
did a tan halfling or a pale lady buy any from you?
You want to describe them in more detail? Could be a lot of people.
Insight check if the paleness or like flagged any recognition.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
She was a pale lady. Her name is Kina, and she was staying at the inn. And had a cloak and a scarf.
Quill, what did you get?
7.
7. Okay. Yeah, they sort of
Sorry.
throw their.
That was delayed.
It's not a full wah-wah.
Yeah, I know it's not.
I would reserve that for maybe 5 or lower.
Okay.
Yeah, they sort of furrow their brow and say, yeah, probably saw her come in, but shopping for a few things. Not, I don't like to disclose what people bought or anything. I mean, who's asking?
Well,
The authorities.
but she has been causing some issues in your town. There's
Okay.
been, these spell discs have been used to make explosives out in the trails.
Oh, heck.
Like,
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, and it's injuring travelers and your townsfolk.
Not to mention, these people said that they're trying to trap other people.
True.
That's unusual.
They're villains, and they're using your stuff to do their villainy.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. That's probably been true on more than one occasion. We got a lot of folks through here, but that's their business, not mine,
Does that not make you a bad person?
No,
No, they're just
making a
making
living.
business.
They sort of indicate with their hoof towards Fibbit and say to you, Devin, they read a lot of storybooks, or?
I would say an active imagination.
Yeah. Well, let me know if I can help you with anything else.
Wait. You go first.
I would like to send a letter and a package.
Oh, sure. You want to do that by snail mail?
Yes, please.
Okay. They'll be here at 4 o'clock or so you got several hours.
Can I just
what
drop it off with you?
Yeah, I'll hang on to it back here and give it to them. And it's, it's 2 copper, but extra copper handling fee if you want to leave it with me.
Okay.
Okay, so they take your whatever it is that you want to pass over.
A little, it's going to be wrapped up in some dried seaweed, and carefully there's like some, what's it called? Like, not wire, what is that called? Rope with like some seaweed or some seashells wrapped into it and woven into it. And it's just tied around neatly, and then the letter is just a standard thing, but there's like a little sill on it, a little wax sill. And you'd notice that one of the pearls is missing from her necklace, and it's put on there.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, yeah, they will take that from you and put it in that little crate that Quell's letter came out of, and stash the 2 copper in the crate and keep 1 in the till for themselves. Pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you. Sorry, you go ahead.
Can I have one of the mines?
Sure, that'll be 2 gold.
Okay. Fibbit like looks at Devin real quick and has 4 gold in his hand and is like, is 2 of these enough? Okay. And then it like not looking very sure of himself, Fibbit hands 2 gold over.
Okay, yeah, they'll take it and put it in the till and hand you a metal disc. This is, when you look at it closely, it's not made precisely the same way that the other ones were that they found.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little less smooth, maybe. Like it's been cut, like the cut around the edges is a little rougher. A little scuffed up. Definitely looks like a secondhand item, but you have I don't have an item for this yet, but I can make one up. But you have basically a holder for 1 spell of, I believe, 2nd level or lower.
I don't even
so
have
2nd level, 1st level cantrip.
I don't have access to 2nd level spells yet, so this is great.
It can do any of those 3 things, and this one is touch activated. So if somebody makes like skin or fur or hoof contact with it directly, it will activate the spell. So you'd want to handle it with like a cloth or something to make sure it doesn't go off usually, unless you want it to.
I actually do have access to 2nd level spells. I forget because they don't make the distinction in for warlock spells. They don't make distinction for leveled spells. Cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Fibbit stashes it in their little bag. I can use it for a trap.
Huh. Very clever, Fibbit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
DM, did Tessie ever give Ahan a letter for her son to notify about Irasash?
No.
Ushi.
So that's a different campaign. No. But you do see through the door, the sort of half screen door of the general store, there is a squirrel folk that you don't recognize, one of the neighbors approaching the store, and they will come in and speak to the proprietor and ask to use the sending stone. So you can see that in action if you're interested. But she sort of looks a little bit nervous, as they do, and sort of looks like she wants a little space, because this is probably going to be somebody sending a message to Raiko, the Chichivo son, because it's one of the squirrel neighbors.
Stepped outside shortly after getting the letter just to read it in private.
Okay. Great. So you watch as the squirrel folk hands over the money and just like reaches up to the stone and puts a paw on it and closes their eyes and mutters quietly a message to Raiko, breaking the news that something very serious has happened.
Never mind. I said, and I was gonna listen in, and I said never mind, and just tossed my dice into the thing, and it was a natural goddamn 20.
You didn't care too much. When the squirrel folk is done, I wanted to also make a phone call, or I guess I should ask you first how this sending stone works in other locations. Now, does this sending stone send the message directly to the person?
Yes.
Or is it like another sending stone in like another general store kind of?
Yeah. It is enabling you to cast sending. As long as you are touching it, you can, and you have paid. You get one at a time use of the sending spell. So your message will go, you do have to speak it out loud, but it will go, I believe this is how sending works. It will go directly into the mind of the other person. They will hear it directly, and they will be able to respond with 50 words or less as well. Yeah.
I'm definitely making a phone call.
But that is all. Yeah, you just can just do one of those at a time. So
I'm
there's
making.
also, yeah, for instance, like the letter that
Mhm.
Quell got would not have been through this. It would have been, brought by a courier,
Yeah.
etc.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can send a message to anybody anywhere in Arkinia with this thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll go up to Newless.
Okay, yeah, the squirrel folk lady just kind of runs out, like looking very upset.
I didn't want to listen in on the conversation.
Yeah. Slams the door
I'll
behind
say,
her.
can I make and what is it, 2 silver?
Ah, 2 silver.
And I'll give 2 silver.
Okay, they'll put it in the till.
Okay.
Send away. 50 words or less.
Yep. I'm going to touch it. And I'm going to think of, oh God, what did I name her? Hold on.
And this is 50
Pause.
words instead of 20?
Correct. It's double. I think 25 is the usual sending, I want to say.
Yes.
So it's double
Sending
that.
is usually 25. So I love that it's 50. That's so good.
Mhm.
That's so good. Sorry, pause, friends.
Bang for your buck.
Pause.
That's okay.
Freaking
I am
unnerved.
also going to open your document, but I also can't find
same,
it.
Same,
What the heck did you call it?
I put it in character creation.
Okay.
And then it's under my own folder.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. So I'm going to touch the stone and I'm going to think of my ma.
Okay.
Lana. Or Lenark. Lana for short. Okay. And
Lenark. Okay, Lana. Got it.
Yeah. So I touch it and I think of her and her oh gosh, I didn't even think about this. She's got she's more of a chocolatey furball look, so that's the image in my head. And she's got
a chocolate milk cow?
Darker hair, yeah.
I'm writing into the doc. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, girl, go ahead. Her normal attire is an apron that's got pockets, and it's always either full of berries or scissors, for trimming purposes. But she also has a really big round belly, as if she's pregnant, because she is.
Wow.
So I'm touching it, and I'm thinking of Mom, and I'm gonna say, "Good morning, Ma. I hope you're doing okay. I'm in a random town and I wanted to ask about the farm. Is everything okay? I've been having bad dreams about the farm withering and I'm just checking up. Love you. Send my love to the whole family. Bye."
Okay. Immediately you get a reply. Hello, sweetheart. It's so great to hear from you. Oh my goodness, I hope you're safe. You're doing okay out there. How many words do I get? So the farm's fine. Everyone here's fine. I did hear from Elder Gotha Tallcat that there's something up with the magic, though. Something's gone a little funny. And I don't know what that's about exactly. I feel like that would be maybe more your wheelhouse. Yeah, and your father, I'm sure, says hello, and all the little ones say hello as well, and it cuts off.
Rox, how long have you been waiting to bust out the Scottish accent? How were you just...
Believe it or not, it actually did not occur to me that you would just call your mom. So that was pretty improvised.
Are you okay?
There's a little bit of tears.
Oh.
Fibbit, just kind of puts his hand, on the side of your face.
Yeah, I'm okay, but some beers have been confirmed, I guess. I may have to make another call, but that can wait, I think.
Let's go talk to the sheriff.
We'll go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, where is Quell?
All right.
I mean, we did see Quell get the letter. We were standing there, but we didn't.
And went outside. Quell went outside.
She probably got taken.
Oh, doubtful. Let's go outside.
Okay. She got snatched up, you guys. Is that not obvious?
Quell can fly away.
Okay, so I just got.
Alan will head outside and look for orange feathers.
You would find me outside near the board posting, reading my little letter, and probably just having a little bit of a look of like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Just like self-stupidity, if that has a look.
Fibbit goes up to Quell and does the exact same thing he did to Devin, and just puts his hand just like next to your beak and is like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I got a letter.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even think about ley lines.
What?
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 I just was so preoccupied with there being a landslide and who was that caused to it. I didn't think about the actual location. And then what's the location of the link?
Are those like places where you're more comfortable where you go to sleep?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it's dealing more with magical.
Oh.
Well, let's see. And I'm gonna. Would I have any like documentation, or would it just be like general like knowledge? I wasn't sure if I'd have like a little map of.
Yeah, you would have
sort
a
of
map
layout.
of the area. Yeah, the greater area.
So I'll go ahead and grab out a map, and then just like squat down on the floor with the others and be like, okay, so this is where the avalanche was triggered, and I'll like just kind of draw a line, and then from like the little island, kind of crossing that, do they intersect at all?
Are you looking for, there wouldn't be any markings of the ley lines on this map, but are you thinking of like...
I'm thinking about just kind of like drawing, or at least like a rough estimate of like what I'm
sorry.
dealing with.
That was my bad. I haven't
Little brain.
mapped. Sorry. I was doing my gold and it's mapped to the number 2 on my keyboard. The sound is. So I was adjusting
Gotcha.
how much gold I had. Sorry.
That's all right. Devin, you're also familiar with the concept of ley lines. If you want to take a look at this map too, you guys actually probably could piece together a little more detail. But let me make sure I know what you were asking. Sorry, Chris, first.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was any sort of like if the ley lines seem to intersect, or if they're just like if they run parallel to each other, or.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Let me give you guys both a brief rundown. I'm trying to think of just like what the sort of bare minimum is that I know you guys would know, and then I'll also have you roll. Why don't we do? Let me look at what the options are. I will say you can roll. Either of you can roll independently, or one can have advantage. This is for Devin and Quell. And it would be a nature check or an arcana check, and you'll get slightly different information depending on which one you do. And then I'll also give you sort of the baseline information that you would have as part of that. So we're just going to see how much y'all will know about this.
I'm good rolling independently.
While they're rolling, what's up, Halo?
As everybody's having this conversation, Fibbit would like to actively sneak away back into the general store.
Okay. We will get to that afterwards.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay. What do we got?
12 nature.
Okay. We got you muted, I think, Tara.
I am muted. I'm dumb. So we will go with a 14 Arcana if Quell's going nature.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So, Quell, we will start with you. You have both of you have a general knowledge of a ley line is a powerful magical vein, essentially. A vein of nature or divine magic, and they crisscross Arkinia. Oftentimes between two very powerful places. For instance, the city of Celestir is the origin of a couple of different ley lines. Oftentimes the large cities are hubs for them. So, Quell, you would know that there is a ley line that runs through, particularly along the river, that is also connected with your home. But it runs east to west, and it would run generally through the area that you are staying in right now. You both are aware that there is a connection between your ability to cast magic and the ley lines. So that would be what you would get as far as the for your nature check, as far as the location, there is a general location of a ley line in your area, or there should be. It is possible that it is not there anymore. You would not be able to tell other than a weakening of magic, which has happened. Devin, more specifically, you've studied under a pretty powerful practitioner of divine and nature-based magics, Gotha Talket, as your mother, who your mother also mentioned. And Elder Gotha Talket would have taught you, particularly where you are from, so in Leymire, which it actually has the word ley in it, right? A ley line. Leymire is a nexus of several ley lines. So it's a particularly powerful place. And there are a lot of druids and clerics in that area. People are drawn to this place. So you do have a pretty distinct knowledge of ley lines, particularly the ones that run through your home. That would not include the one that runs east to west here, because you're from quite a bit north.
Okay.
Once you are sitting and thinking about this completely tracks. You felt a reduction in your ability to cast magic easily. Again, you can still cast all your spells, but it's harder. You're drawing from magic that is farther away. You know that a ley line they have been around for as long as you and your teacher are aware of, at least 1,000 years. It would take a great deal of power to destroy one or to cripple one. You have not heard of that happening before. If that were to happen, it would be a very serious matter. It would be a matter of concern to magical communities across Arkinia, and certainly could refer to what your mother said about Elder Gotha's concerns, and tracks also with the feelings that you have had around your use of your magic, and remembering back to the dream that you also had, which I believe the phrasing at the end was, "The line has been broken." So once this all kind of aligns for you in your head, both of you, as you and Quell sort of like talk a little bit about this, this is a very serious matter. And something has gone wrong.
Immensely.
Yeah, immensely.
Quell,
Yeah.
what did that letter say exactly?
I'll unfold it and actually hand it to Devin.
Okay, I will go ahead and read it. It is headed Mission 3rd R, number 8.0. and addressed. Third Ranger Ulid. Yesterday, Elder Lakshi sensed the destruction of a primary ley line west of Mazarine. No doubt you recognize the unprecedented weakening of our natural magics, a direct result of the tampering. Should this missive find you in Cloventop, we call you to investigate. She informs me that the line ran west to east through Lake Wallow. It could be reinstated so long as we ensure that the source of the issue is addressed. Updates expected as events warrant. Signed, 1st Ranger Kono Ulid, 5th A, 5th of Wayne Spring, 1115, which is the date of, let me make sure I've got this right. It is 2 days ago. So it is the day that you all met, the day that you all met.
Oh.
Scribbled at the bottom, a little addendum. Your mother sends her love.
Oh.
Yeah, Quell, you did not know the details of that. Your father is saying that this ley line ran actually through the lake itself, and that would make sense along the river as well. So, yeah, this is a little extra detail that you now know about the ley line.
It might be part of the reason if they're trying to destroy or disrupt, then that might be part of the reason why we can't get to why they're guarding it.
Okay.
This is from 2 days ago. I definitely need to let him know that I'm received and that I will be investigating.
Do you need some money? You could probably call.
Yeah, I have some money. I'll give him a call.
Probably faster. My ma told me that my elder had some disturbing information about the magic back home, and the town is also on top of multiple ley lines. So if we're feeling it already at home, there's a big problem.
Really concerning.
Okay.
You know, I just thought that it was kind of coincidental that we all had these scary dreams. Now that you're saying this stuff out loud, I'm a little bit more concerned.
Yeah, well, it was a little coincidental as well, but some things are starting to drop into place. Excuse you. Sorry, can't. We're gonna have to go back to the island.
Most definitely.
Fibbit, what are you up to inside?
Fibbit is going to kind of like look around, kind of in a very suspicious manner, and go up to the counter with the guy and say, "I would like to send a message, please."
Sure, you want to use the stone?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. That'll be whatever it was. 2 silver.
Fibbit grabs 1 gold and says, "Is this enough?"
Yeah, let me give you your change.
Oh,
And
okay.
they swap it out and give you a handful of silver.
Okay, cool.
8 silver.
8 silver. Okay, I will put that down somewhere. Okay, so Fibbit is looking very nervous as they take the stone, and they will.
Yeah, you have to
or
apply
yeah,
your
or
paw
as-
to it on the wall.
Yeah. Okay, and looking
It's very,
very
very
yeah.
perfectly smooth. Feels really nice. It's cool.
Yeah, Fibbit's like hand is kind of trembling as he puts his hand on the standing stone and thinks very hard about, thinks very hard about, I wrote down the name, but I'm bad at them, Imlos. And says, are you there? Can I go home? And that's it.
About 10 seconds go by.
Mm-hmm.
And in your mind, you hear a chuckle. No.
All right, looking very dejected. Vibbit nods and goes back.
And that is where we will end today's episode.
Who the fuck is Imlo?
Wouldn't you like to know?
All right, so we will pick up next time with getting your belongings back from Mick the Artificer Blacksmith and investigating the island further, it seems, because something fucked up is happening at Lake Wallow. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Queer Bee Dragons, Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise. Chris, you want to give them the rundown?
Thank you for joining Queer Bee Dragons, and hopefully you've enjoyed. And catch us every other Sunday live on Twitch, or catch up on our YouTube and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Queer Bee Dragons.
That is all, folks. We will see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Hooray.